See, hey y'all, I'm gonna read out of this book. I gotta drink faucet water. It's making my stomach hurt. I don't fuck with faucet water unless I got something to, like something to purify myself. But I ain't in my own element, so if I had to shut it down because I ain't about to push on through kind of shit, because motherfuckers need to learn today that you can't get something for nothing. And it is what it is. I just wanted to keep my word with reading a few of those, you know what I'm saying, pages out of Our Guardian Demon, book by Aurora Asher. I may get to a pop in the tarot. I may not. We're going to see how it go. If my nausea subsides. Ain't got no money. Ain't got no fancy car. Ain't got nothing to drink outside of faucet water. And I'm supposed to help people. Real ignorant people. Who would say, you should be grateful she got faucet water, but don't know me well enough to know that faucet water in America makes me nauseous. If I don't either boil it or put what I know I can put in it to get the bullshit out of it, it's an alchemy thing, alchemist. I didn't want to boil it and then refrigerate it because I was thirsty right away. We gonna go with One Fell Swoop. That was the last chapter we started off on. Which is chapter 5. The previous chapter we was in, for those that's been following along, because we ain't that far into this, is Dance with the Devil, the 4th chapter, of course. Okay, One Fell Swoop. The demon stumbled, but he didn't lose consciousness. How did he not lose consciousness? Angel blood was poison to demons, and even a small amount could put them under for hours. But not this demon. Sunshine had injected him with an entire syringe full of her blood, and he was still standing. Worse, he finally seemed to understand that Sunshine was not a human woman looking to hook up and was in actuality a deadly adversary. Though drugged and clouded, his eyes flared with shock and strangely betrayal. And then fury. What the fuck? He snarled. Listing to one side, she went to catch him and flashed him away. But somehow he found the strength to fight her. How is this possible? He twisted out of her grip and shoved her away with enough force that she nearly lost her balance. Her back hit the brick wall, and he did the same to the wall on the opposite side of the alley. He stumbled again, but didn't fall. Our little buddy want to say, hey, y'all, can y'all see little buddy? I'm going to put him next to Uncle Bernie so y'all can see him. Hey, Uncle Bernie. Remember that shit on the show? An angel could teleport with another individual, sometimes two, if they were strong enough. But those individuals had to be willing. Transporting someone who didn't want to be transported was a nigh impossible feat. That was why she planned on having him unconscious for this. The dose of her blood ought to have knocked him out cold for at least 3 hours. Damn. A demon with a resistance to angel blood was simply not possible. That's kind of like how I be like telling people you got to be careful if you're having sex with somebody that possibly could be a demon. Like if after y'all are intimate or have sex, if you want to call it that, because it ain't like that kind of shit. You gotta be real clear today. Um, you fall asleep, you drain, you can't get out of bed, and the other motherfucker washing dishes and washing the cars outside and shit. Just got extra energy and you busted. That is a total red flag, honey. When I tell you, total red flag. I had to turn the fan on. I was getting hot. Yet there he stood. He blinked heavily, clearly finding the effects of her blood. She began to believe that if she waited, he would succeed, which meant she needed to get him out of here as quickly as possible. She gonna learn today. Sunshine, she something else. She a narcissist like a motherfucker, and she just gonna assume that she gonna be able to, just get some marching orders, get to it, and get on back to her position that she lost in a higher dimension. She's something else. On you. Let me tell you something. Like, bro, you was fried. Hell no. Okay, I was fixing some wax. Gritting her teeth, she rushed him, attempting to take him down. As she reached for him, however, he struck her in the solar plexus hard. She underestimated his reaction time and left herself open. Wheezing, she stumbled back. He struck her again on the side of the neck, where the sensitive tissue joined her shoulder. They were measured strikes meant to incapacitate more than cause harm. Again, she marveled at his level of awareness. Pain radiated outward and she staggered, and then he transformed into a crow and tried to fly away. Try being the operative word. The bird's erratic flight patterned in him hitting the walls repeatedly on either side of the alley. But Sunshine was back on her feet, and she'd had enough. She'd recovered from her shock and was done underestimating her opponent. Just before he cleared the top of the building above, she flashed in front of him and snatched him out of thin air. He transformed into a man, his big body crashing into her. They fell 3 stories back down to smack the ground, Sunshine taking the brunt of the impact, his weight crushing her to the concrete. Dizzy, the back of her head screaming with pain, she wrapped her arms and legs around him and tried again to flash. This time it worked, disoriented from the fall, striking the wall repeatedly, and the energy used to shift twice. He was unable to resist her. She teleported them straight to her rental apartment, into the Emperor sigil trap she'd preemptively drawn on the floor. How convenient. She is terrible. She determined too, ain't she? She must be a Taurus. She had assumed injecting him in the alley was her safest option, since the sooner he was unconscious, the less time he would have to get suspicious and figure out what she was. If she'd known he had a freak resistance to angel blood, however, she would have let him walk himself over while he still thought he was about to get lucky, and then injected him when he stepped in the door to save herself the hassle. But never in 100 years would she have expected that. Without bothering to take in his new surroundings, the demon attempted a hold to immobilize her, but no one could trap an angel that didn't want to be trapped, at least not without powerful magic. And she simply flashed out of the sigil to safety, without her body underneath him. He landed on his stomach, cheek connecting with the hard wood. He pushed into his hands, attempted to haul his bulk off the floor, but that was when his body finally gave out on him. Collapsing back to the ground with a groan, his eyes fell shut and he succumbed to the unconsciousness. Winded from the fight, Sunshine stood outside the sigil and stared at her captive, chest heavy. His back was broad and built with muscle, so much so that it was clearly visible through the fabric of his black hoodie. The pushed-up sleeves revealed strong forearms, delineated, with muscle and healthy veins. His skin was dark, the highlights from the lamp light, a golden bronze, the shadows an earthy brown. And his eyes, they were closed now, but there was no forgetting that brilliant gold. Too bright to be human, it ought to have been a sobering reminder of what he was rather than another element of his beauty. The longer she stared at him, the more her heart pounded. She couldn't stop replaying what he'd done to her on that dance floor, how her body had responded. Stop that. She could never think of it again. She had done what was necessary. It's about to persist. She's trying to resist. It's over. He's about to get them draws. As soon as he gets out this shit, she is fooling herself. She's terrible as fuck. She's awesome. She dying last. Oh, self-deception. Lord. Stop that. She could never think of it again. She had done what was necessary to retrieve her target, and the rest was just an unfortunate side effect. That was all. Demons were sensual, seductive creatures, and to lure him in, she'd had to play his game, but she was above such base instincts, and the need for sexual gratification, desires of the flesh did not rule her. Girl, she need to go Tennessee. She tripped. Tennessee. She need to go Tennessee. See, PJ technique. I mean, she need to go Tennessee, bitch, on some. Just go along, have fun, and win because you got good intentions and you just want to have fun. But she know too much. She was wrong from the jump with this whole prescriptive shit, which her master teacher knows that. You know, that's her fucking problem. Like, I want you to go down there and get my hair. Like it's gonna be a breeze. It remember me that Slick Rick song. Teacher, teacher, tell me how you do it. Looks kind of easy. Like there was nothing to it. This is Sunshine. She can stop the thought. She can put this nigga in the sigil, knock him out. She ain't think about the police or nothing. She must get this nigga. She must get her teacher here some kind of way and get on back so she can get her high lofty seat. Yeah, she terrible with them. Can't wait till Ron Garrett asks. Oh my God. She gonna say demons were sensual, seductive creatures. She could have just enjoyed it and went on by her business. She should have did it Tennessee, but she had knew too much information. If she would have went into it, you know, just having fun, friends with benefits, vibing, whatever you fucking want to call it, she would have been up out of there for real. Fucked around and just found her teacher hair. I'm like, what the fuck? Let me get this back to him. Hell no. All this old prescriptive madness. Honey, I cannot. It didn't matter that the little bundle of nerves between her thighs still tingled with excitement. Nor did it matter that her heart had raced at the look in his eyes when he promised hours more of similar wicked delights. When he awoke and found himself trapped in that sigil, the only promises he would make were those of her demise. But she was ready for that. A demon's hatred she could handle, and she had a few promises of her own to make too. Ron fought through the intense throbbing of his head to pull himself back to the world. It was hard to remember what he was doing or why he was unconscious in the first place. But the need to stay alert never left him. And the harder he focused on it, the more his body came back under his control. Finally, he managed to blink his eyes open. He was on his stomach, face turned to one side when his vision focused, he saw dark stained hardwood floors covered in chalk lines that had spiraled around his body, a sigil, an Iperan sigil, judging by the pale blue glow of the lines, which meant there was no hope of him breaking out of it. Temporal magic, the earth magic of humans and witches, could be overcome if the caster couldn't match the demon's strength. Iperan magic, not so much. Farther away, there was a small kitchen with stainless steel appliances. The light in the room came from pot lights in the ceiling, dimmed to a soft glow. Everything was chic and modern, and there was no signs of life. No dishes, groceries, stacks of mail, car keys, not even a fruit bowl. He moved his hand and saw a window. It was still dark, which hopefully meant he hadn't been out for long. Orienting himself triggered the rest of his awareness, and the alarm that filled him gave him the energy to get up. He slid his palms under his shoulders and shoved. And even though it felt like his body weighed 1,000 pounds, he managed to lever himself back onto his knees. The world spun, and all he wanted was to sink back into unconsciousness. The first thing he did was pull out his cell phone, and even though he already knew it wouldn't work inside of a sigil like this, the magic blocked any signal from coming or going, and often short-circuited electronic devices. Honey, ain't that the problem today? The sigil, our motherfucking ass like we in a fucking snow globe, you know? What the fuck? This shit is ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Y'all know, I got a light of incense, y'all. Y'all know, Kelly Osbourne. Y'all used to watch the Osbournes? Y'all know she with a nutcase. This fiance, I don't do no shit like this, but I love Ozzy Osbourne, and I love Kelly, and I love Sharon, and I love Jack. I just watched the show, and I loved them on that show because they kept it real. It was more like beep, 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 because they be cussing like a motherfucker on there. Like, you don't even hear words, you just hear them beeping out the cussing. Because Ozzy, honey, did not play the radio. He was off the hook. Ozzy Osbourne, he sacrificed him. That just sacrifice shit is out of control. Do y'all know motherfuckers be coming here? He one of them. His name is Sid. She got a son named Sidney. That is him. He second powered himself. You think this shit is a joke? No, it's not. I ain't making this motherfucking shit up. Motherfuckers be doing all kind of shit. And if you a woman, sometimes you don't even know the half of the power that men got. Some women do because they had to take one for the team and they just end up having to do some man shit because people was envious to them and their original mate, and they would maybe have to come a man instead of be a woman. So like they're a gay couple, but it's really an original woman. But you got to have more power than what the husband would have, so she got to come as a man so they can kick ass because they just too cute and everybody in their little town is envious of them and they attack them all the time, kind of shit. This motherfucker always be killing her father. He did this to her 5 lifetimes. Guess why, y'all? For energy, not even for money. That's why she looking all drained like that. He a vampire. And then he multiplies himself, which men have the capability of doing if they kept it 100, but they don't. That's a secret. They're not telling you that. It's like telling you something that's like kryptonite, some shit they don't tell you so they can always have one up over you, just like God do them. He don't give them everything because he'll try to overthrow God. Allah know that. That's why he don't give them all the information. They do that to women. Trust and know that. If you think you know it all or whatever, you know what you know, but you don't know as much as the man. And he ain't telling you every motherfucking thing that he could tell you. So you want to try to overthrow his ass. You see what I'm saying? It's a chain of command. God do them the same way, so don't feel bad. He done had her have him. That's him as a baby. Draining the fuck out of them because he want energy. And he keep booking ahead. I said, it's like this motherfucker went to the pump, filled up his motherfucking vehicle, and then had a gas can and filled that motherfucker up too, just in case his needle move a little bit. He can fill it up. I'm talking about getting real comfy cozy. And then get rid of Ozzy, like, because he be hip to it that ain't her motherfucking twin. That ain't who Kelly's supposed to be with. This motherfucker keep infiltrating our motherfucking family through her womb. I'm talking about himself to the second power. That little baby, Sydney, it's his big ass is Sid. And the baby named Sydney, that little boy, that's him. Men can multiply themselves. Yes, they can have themselves out of themselves and plant themselves in you, and you have them. So they can get your motherfucking money, your energy, whatever. Trickster ass motherfucking energies. Get all kind of crazy. Do y'all know how old the earth and the cosmos and shit is? They motherfucker be doing all kind of slick ass motherfucking shit. Fucking families up. With deep roots. Killing our fathers and shit. Because you have a father like Ozzy Osbourne is just, off the hook. Cuss your motherfucking ass out, bitch. He been on about that life. Whoever know. Rock star like a motherfucker. Ain't never got the time. Kelly the same motherfucking way. Bert, the man that was on the show, the Osbournes, that's her twin. That's why he in that band. It must be a lot of, I'm in a band called Tire Damage. In that band called Used. That motherfucker might well be used cars, but guess why they call it used? I bet every nigga in that band that experienced some shit like Bert going through, where this nigga just come in, take his woman, have himself, and get comfy cozy, kill off the father, sacrifice the father, just kick you, separate you from your twin, and just have his way, Lord. And then put another motherfucker in there, like a brother or something, that they'll infiltrate through another woman that Ozzy will cheat with, like Kobe kissed that lady, knowing damn well Kobe was a faithful man, and they just plant this bitch. Couldn't take it no further because Kobe seen where they was going with it. So he was like, you know what? I'm about to fucking motherfuckers shoot themselves in the head. And I'm going down like Lisa Left Eye Lopez, bitch. You hear me? Listen, I'm trying to tell you what the fuck. What the fuck? You gotta be ready to go at any time too. These motherfuckers, you get a helicopter and you get a sense like, man, he was a Virgo too. Like this shit, these motherfuckers about to try something. They already set me up with this shit, knowing damn well I don't want nothing to do with this bitch kissing the motherfucker at the hotel. I'm cool with my wife. I got my girls. I'm a girl dad. My life is great. What the fuck kind of shit? All of a sudden, you realize you double cross. All sides. What the fuck? You see how it could lead Kelly Osbourne to become a man next lifetime, just to have more power to add on to her twin, who literally can't handle the attacks by himself, because they usually kill Ozzy earlier. This was the oldest he ever got. Do you hear me? That means her brother Jack Not this long lost brother or this what they call it, estranged brother. Cause I got an estranged brother. I don't know. I don't know. He might be a part of this nigga over here with this old to the second power ass shit. But Jack, Ozzy, and Bert can't get rid of this nigga. He infiltrated their family 5 fucking lifetimes, y'all. I ain't lying. And people talking about her, he's the vampire. That's why she gets so skinny. Her mother want to go because she knew he was going to pull some shit with Ozzy, or Ozzy was leaving, even if she don't know it's about him, per se. They know something they motherfucking right around here. You hear me? So Sharon, like, on some hunger strike shit so she can get to her boo bae, okay? Kelly ain't trying to be that. She's grieving, but damn, can I get my motherfucking weight back? She always been a little thick slam. What the fuck? Her mother can get a little fat in the face too. But now they both like Skeletor because of this motherfucker. Keep coming as a baby and his big ass self. Always hit engagement. And whenever, this is what I'm hearing, y'all. Whenever he engage her, her dad is there, but that's the sacrifice of it all. He never makes marriage because Ozzy always get him the fuck gone. However, like, it's kind of like the apex of something, like it gets worse before the dawn or some shit, or the breaking of a new day. You know what I'm saying? Darkest before dawn, right before you get a breakthrough kind of shit. So this lifetime, it's like that. But he still got rid of Ozzy. Doing this engagement shit. He not gonna marry her. It never works. He just keep doing the same fucking shit. So look what I do. Because it was bothering me. Like, why is my girl that? And look what they did. They're trying to stop it. You're not gonna be able to stop shit. Even it's set in motion already. It's set in motion already. You're not gonna be able to stop shit. I don't even do this, but we about sick of you. Look at Princess Di with her Hindu baby already that set shit in motion to block people like these motherfuckers. Princess Di said she liked the Osbournes. She don't like everybody. You see how funny acting she is? But she done got this together already because she knew they was going to kill her in that car wreck. So she got a Hindu baby sitting on her lap. That's like having a Ganesh. And just let her emit out into the atmosphere, killing niggas who kill her, anything to do with it, anybody to touch anybody that's innocent there. And she can have her choose that kind of shit on who she get like retribution for. Yeah. So I said, what's up with that? I said, who could I help Kelly? Because I'm looking at her getting all skinny and shit. I'm like, damn, who could I look up? Princess Di sit up there. I'm like, oh, UK. Yes. She said she liked the Osbournes. So why you thinking you so motherfucking slick? It's, bitch, she already did what she did. We about sick of you motherfuckers, daddy. Don't jump out of there like that. You might bite somebody. These motherfuckers think it's a game. Don't nobody care about none of that queen stuff. I ain't no motherfucking queen, bitch. I'm a hood motherfucker in the ghetto trying to get some money so I can get some motherfucking Newports, some cherry coke, and some more shit. You know what I'm saying, Eva? Do? Gotta put your beans on, right? Girl, these motherfuckers are lost their man like we done gave a fuck. Bitch, I don't know nothing about no jewels or no offshore accounts and all that shit. Bitch, I'm right here. I love you, Houston. I love you, Cleveland. American, bitch. Black woman, get your money, black woman. Anyway, enough of that shit. Let this nigga see it. Oh, that baby is so cute. It's just gone. Don't even know it's a backstory that'll blow your motherfucking socks off. And you'll be looking at your shit like, this motherfucker, hold on. My baby cute, but who sent you? Kind of shit. This real talk like a motherfucker. Anyway, too deep for some people, so I'm going to keep reading. Where did we stop? Oh, her trying to stop her thinking about how they got it in on the dance floor. And him trying to get the fuck out of this sigil. Okay. The first thing he did was put out his cell phone, even though he already knew it wouldn't work inside of a sigil like that. Or like this. The magic blocked any signal from coming or going and often short-circuited electronic devices. Sure enough, the screen was black, pocketing it again. He closed his eyes, took a few deep breaths, and ran a hand over his skull, allowing the sensation of his close-cropped hair against his palm to ground him a little more. When he dropped his hand and opened his eyes, the angel was standing in front of him, Greetings, demon, she said. He figured out what she was too late. What she was too late. What? He'd figured out what she was too late. Got it. Like a fucking moron. He'd been too busy gawking at her voluptuous body and shiny hair to notice the signs. He'd seen her stalking him all week, casing her target, evidently, and thought it was some kind of fate pushing them together. Worst of all, he might as well have been trying to chat up a fence post. Angels weren't sexual beings, they were celibate, and the ones that didn't want to become Grigori. He hadn't shared desire with her at the club. They hadn't shared a goddamn thing. She put on an Oscar-worthy performance, faking that orgasm, but it was still faked, and it wasn't. You see how off he is? He need to get it together, and so do she. What the fuck? They trying to figure out how to be human again. That's what the fuck. This what's going on now. A lot of motherfuckers. It was not even fake. She said up there talking about stop it. She tried not to think about it. This nigga gonna say it was fake. No, it wasn't. What did you even talk about? Honey baby. I'm an idiot, a class A fucking idiot. He might wonder if this angel was a Grigori if he hadn't already figured out exactly who she was. What's your name, son? Sonny. He thought the name was cute, as cute as her. So goddamn stupid. If he hadn't been thinking mostly with his dick, he'd have remembered that Eva's father, Dan, had a friend who was an angel, not a Grigori like him, but a legit heavenly angel named Sunshine. This was that friend, the angel who had searched the Iparin library for information on how to remove enslavement brands. Lily had taken control of the brands when she pushed former mistress into a pit of monsters, but they still remained on his body. Dan hadn't outright said that he lied to Sunshine about why he wanted the info, but it was implied. No angel in their right mind would help a demon. If Dan had been honest, she would have shown up with the cavalry and taken them all out. Much easier than removing Miss Brands was to simply kill him. Much easier than removing Miss Brands was to simply kill him. And seeing as they were rogues, it was completely within her rights to do so. Sunshine had evidently become suspicious on her own and tracked them down. The question remained, however, how much did she know? And perhaps more importantly, why wasn't Ram already dead? He decided his safest course of action was to play dumb. His knowledge of her identity was his only possible advantage right now. She clasped her hands at her front. My name is Sunshine. Great. So she didn't care if he knew who she was. There went his advantage. She stood at the edge of the sigil just far enough away that he couldn't reach her. Not a hair was out of place on that head of silky straight hair even after their fight. Her white dress was unwrinkled, her smile sweet and polite. Damn her for being beautiful, and damn him for still noticing even after finding out what she was. I know who you are, Ram, and I know who your brothers are as well. It was meant to be a threat, but she couldn't pull off threatening to save her life. With that sweet countenance, it was more like she was introducing him to her grandmother, but she didn't have to look threatening for the threat to be there. She was a fucking angel. She had the ability to teleport, which gave her a serious advantage over him. One of the many bullshit ways the whole battle between heaven and hell had never been a fair fight to begin with, and he was trapped in a sigil. Asmodeus, Belial, and Mephistopheles, she went on, and a new addition, Mephistopheli, you're closest to Mephistopheles, who goes by Myth. Myth has a relationship with a blood-born witch named Iris, and her twin sister Lily has one with Mephistopheles or Mist, and Asmodeus or Ash has a human girlfriend named Eva. Sunshine continued to smile, but her gaze sharpened ever so slightly, or should I say half human. She knows about Eva. Ram blood went cold. The angel knew what Eva was, which meant she knew Eva was Dan's daughter. That meant she knew Dan was a big-time rule violator, harboring his forbidden half-angel offspring and throwing his support behind a group of rogue demons. What do you want? He asked, abandoning all pretense. Why am I here? He didn't ask what he really wondered. Why am I not dead? Because he didn't want to give her any ideas. She shifted on her feet and twisted her hands. If he didn't know better, he'd say she appeared nervous. It was so at odds with the current power dynamic, he figured he was imagining it. When you and your so called brothers escaped your duties in hell, they are not my so called brothers, they are my brothers. Demons cannot reproduce, and therefore they can't have siblings. Only humans can. Brothers are related by blood. We did a blood ritual and shared blood, so we're brothers. That's not how brothers work. Why not? Here she go with this know-it-all shit. She opened her mouth and closed it again. This is irrelevant, she said, with a shake of her head, because she don't know. She a woman. She don't even know she could that she got an advantage over him because she know how to teleport a certain type of way. She think he more powerful than her. That's why he's like, oh, this is weird. You did this is your shit. And I said, why you seeming nervous? You don't know how to handle this shit. You done started it, bitch. Shit, he getting it. You better get up from there. Football tackle her ass. Because she want his body, yada, yada. Hell no. This is irrelevant, she said with a shake of her head. Regardless of the legitimacy of your brotherhood, you are living on earth against the rules. If hell finds you, you will face severe punishment. If Belial resists and attempts to gather forces and support, it may set off an underworld war of epic proportions. If heaven catches you, on the other hand, you will simply be dispatched. The chance to eliminate 5 greater demons of such power is one we are rarely offered, and it will be taken. You're not telling me anything I don't already know. But she was driving home how fucked he was. She was reminding him what would happen if they were caught after having already caught him. But she hasn't killed me yet. It had to mean she needed him for something, which meant there was a chance he could bargain his way out of this. I know everything, she said. I told y'all she know it all. This bitch said she know everything. What? I know everything, she said. I've been watching you for the last 3 weeks. And she literally don't mean just this subject matter. Y'all can't tell? I should have gone to my superiors the moment I realized who you were. But by staying to observe, I learned far more than I would have otherwise. I learned about Daniel's transgression and his forbidden Nephilim child. I get it. You want something. What is it? She blinked those big dark eyes. You're very direct, considering my life is on the line. Yeah, I'm not into small talk. Cut to the chase. Very well. You are correct. There is something I need, and I want you to help me to get it. If you do, I will agree not to reveal knowledge of your whereabouts or the existence of the Nephilim female. If you don't, I will, and you will all lose your lives. His heart sank like a brick in the ocean. No matter what she wanted him to do, he was going to have to do it. Fucking angels. She stood there with that innocent little smile, threatening him with the worst kind of blackmail. At the end of the day, the servants of heaven were just as self-seeking and underhanded as demons. Only they did it under the guise of being good guys. At least demons owned their evilness. At least they didn't pretend to be anything other than what they were. And what do you want? Rom asked through gritted teeth. And what did you want like that? He like Jack on the Notebook. She couldn't make up her mind either. Lord have mercy. You must agree to the deal first, Sunshine replied. Not until I know what it is. Yeah, that's how she got booted, because he's right. Like, at least we own up to our evil. You sit here acting like you are holy and shit and using blackmail. Aren't you an angel? I understand your lane. You're supposed to just be using such shit. You can't, now it's unfair as fuck. Like, the evil been took over because it was low-key unfair. Like he said, heaven always had the upper advantage. However, it was some things that people didn't know that they knew how to do. So then they would start doing shit like the evil ones, because they wouldn't even know they had that kind of prowess or power. She's a female. He knows more than her. You see that? Oh, y'all. He must got amnesia, forgot kind of shit. For real, ain't had a woman, ain't been in that situation for a minute. He himself, she an angel. She learning how to be a human. He was just somebody that fell from grace, a demon now. So he had to do time in hell. He think he still got to do the time, but I think his time is up for real. He just cooked too long kind of shit and ended up making brotherhood down there. They still got time to do. I don't feel like Ron do. That's why he trying to understand why he acted so human. Why these dogs, why how the fuck he ended up working at a fucking shelter kind of shit. That's this whole human shit. What's going on? You have no choice. You would not let your family die. He bit back a curse. Damn her for being right. His only hope was to bluff his way through this. I'm a demon, remember? I don't give a fuck about anyone but myself. You narc. Yeah, I live with them, but only because it's convenient. I'd rather they not die, but I don't care enough to make a deal with an angel without knowing the parameters. Sunshine studied him, her head tilted. She looked like she didn't believe a word out of his mouth. Very well, she said, surprising him. Recently, a grimoire was stolen. I was charged with retrieving it for safekeeping in the Inferian, excuse me, y'all, it's Iperin Library. My fault. If that's how you say it. It's like empty without a T and then Rian. Iperin. Iperin. Y'all, somebody know how to fucking say it. It's E-M. Ooh, hold on. It's E-M. Now I keep losing the word. EMPYREAN. Library. Rom still, no way, no fucking way. She was after what he thought she was. The world was not that small, but apparently it was. Shit. Motherfuckers be prescriptive. Teaching people lessons, you will be all in the middle of it. It's just crazy as fuck. Originally in the possession of a blood-born witch, the book was taken by a demon called Murmur, and it was brought to hell. As you know, I cannot use my teleportation abilities in the underworld. I need help collecting it, and who better to aid me than another demon? She was smart to seek help. Angelic powers were useless in hell, and she would stick out like a sore thumb on her own. See? There's another angle to it. Damn. Another angel would be just as incongruous. Incongruous. Yeah. Blackmailing a demon into helping her was clever, and if he wasn't so pissed off, he might have been impressed. If I do this, Rom said, you have to vow to leave us alone forever and never tell a soul what you know. I'm willing to agree to that. It was the start, but it wouldn't be enough. Almost no bargain was completely unbreakable. There was usually a hidden way out, an overlooked loophole, and Rom couldn't take that chance. Not with Eva and his brother's lives on the line. Immediately, his mind started reeling with plans. Sunshine was after the Book of Gamagan, currently in the necromancer's possession. Rom had always wanted it to use as leverage against Murmur until Bell made him scrap the idea. But now he was thinking. He knew angels. Sunshine might swear never to reveal their location to anyone, but even if he got her this book and sent her on her merry way, it was only a matter of time before she showed up with her next form of blackmail. Finding a way to get rid of her permanently was the only solution. Angels were extremely difficult to kill, but it wasn't impossible. Just like demons, to deliver permanent death to an angel, they had to be beheaded and the pieces of their body incinerated. The catch was that they had to be beheaded with the consecrated weapon and cremated with heaven fire. While being in hell increased a demon's power, angels couldn't teleport or use their healing abilities. One might think the underworld would be the ideal place to attack, but unfortunately, consecrated weapons had no power either, which meant no matter what you did to an angel in hell, they wouldn't die. So the killing had to happen on earth, where an angel had full access to their abilities. Fair as fuck, right? Yeah. What the fuck? She don't know all that she can do. I'm telling you. He do. She swears she know everything, though. You know, it's crazy. The other catch was that demons couldn't handle consecrated weapons. It felt like sticking a hand straight into a bonfire, and only a rare few knew how to draw the Emperor sigil to summon heaven fire. Even fewer could actually make it work. It was generally accepted that demons couldn't use Emperor magic, but there was always exceptions. In this case, the exception was Bel. Since Bel was actually a fallen angel, he was immune to consecrated weapons. He was capable of summoning heaven fire, albeit with difficulty, since he was very much a demon now. And there was a way around the teleportation problem, too. Angels could be trapped with a special kind of shielik, that is to say, demonic sigil. It was so complex and difficult to cast that most demons weren't capable of it. But again, Belial was, and Belial really hated angels. If he arranged things just right, Rom was pretty sure he could pull this off. He would agree to help Sunshine steal the book, and then he'd find a way to destroy her and take it for himself. Murmur would swear. Murmur's like murmuring. That's what I keep laughing a little bit to myself. Murmur like a mumble rapper, like how I read. Who give a fuck? Y'all understand what I'm saying, though. Let's get to it. Murmur would swear to anything to get his precious Grimmer back, and there would be no more angels that knew where he was or knew where he and his brothers were hiding. Two birds, one stone. He was rather fond of birds and would strangle anyone throwing stones at them. But the saying worked in this case. See how you get more compassion with animals and shit? This nigga Noah, oh my god. First, however, he had to cover his bases, and no one was better at hashing out the terms of a contract than a demon. He don't even realize he ain't saw. That's fucked up. This gonna be crazy. Let me see how many pages this is. Ooh, 6. Wait a minute, y'all. That might not be too many. Okay, 6. The devil's in the details. Sunshine spent the rest of the entire night, negotiating the finer terms of her deal with the devil. Dawn had begun to lighten the sky, a pink glow appearing on the horizon between the buildings. She had come into the situation prepared, but it still surprised her how precisely every detail had to be examined before Ron would agree to anything. Human lawyers ought to try drafting a contract with a demon. It would be the ultimate test of their abilities, but even most humans knew better than to make such bargains. In this case, however, she knew it was her best option. She could not trapeze into hell all by her lonesome. Her angelic aura, like a beacon of purity amid that tarnished landscape, she wouldn't last 5 minutes before she was discovered, and then, well, she already knew what demons did with an angel at their mercy. And what happens in the event of my death, Rom asks. If I'm killed while working for you, the contract should hold. He currently sat cross-legged on the floor in the center of the sigil. During their negotiations, he alternated between his current pose and stretching his legs out while leaning back on his hands. Despite the circumstance, he managed to look relaxed. Sunshine, on the other hand, sat on a chair for the dining table and kept shifting from cheek to cheek. After so many hours, her rear end was quite numb. You will not die completing this task, she felt the need to say, disturbed at the thought. I assure you, I want assistance, not sacrifice. Rom shrugged. Death is always a possibility, and if it occurs or if I'm permanently compromised in some way, you have to keep up your end of the deal. How casually he discussed his possible demise. Was that what life was like for a demon in hell? Constantly surrounded by violence and suffering, it seemed a dark and miserable existence. But she had to remain cold. Her eyes narrowed. Why should I owe your family protection if you're incapable of fulfilling your end? Because I only be killed because of our agreement. Sacrifice deserved recompense. She couldn't argue against that, nor could she reveal how the thought of it horrified her. Fine, but you can't seek a way to compromise yourself as a means of escaping your duty. He cocked a brow. I agree not to attempt suicide over one measly bargain with an angel. Good. She studied him. There was a glint in his golden eyes that made her suspicious. He wasn't cooperative. In fact, he was quite sullen and argumentative, but she had to wonder if he hadn't formed some hidden plan of his own for how to make this arrangement benefit him. Honestly, she'd be disappointed if he hadn't. It was what any smart person forced into a corner would do, but it meant she needed to be careful in her negotiating. If at any time we want to change the conditions of the contract, he said, he can. She shifted toward her chair. Why would we want to do that? Dunno. I'm just covering all the bases. Fine, agreed. If we both agreed to amend the terms of the bargain, we may, so long as there is no coercion or manipulation involved. I'll need to visit my brothers before we go to hell. Absolutely not. She couldn't risk the slightest chance of him betraying her plans. They'll get suspicious if I suddenly disappear. Call them and tell them you're going away for a time. His eyes narrowed. They won't believe that if they don't see me for themselves. Then tell them you met a human woman at the nightclub and you want to enjoy her company undisturbed. She's something else. His mouth pressed to a line, and the loathing that burned in his eyes would have given her pause had he not been safely trapped in the sigil. It seemed he didn't like being reminded of what had transpired between them last night. That was fine, neither did she, yet she couldn't resist needling him. You can tell them you'll tire of her in a week or so, as you do with all the women you're with. Here she go, and then you'll return. She becoming human. A show, honey. When I tell you, girl, gone. There was a bite to her words now, no matter how she tried to repress it. She couldn't help but wonder how many human women he danced with as he had with her. How many women had he smiled at when he asked for their name? How many women's eyes had he stared into as he promised him a night of his undivided attention, focused solely on delivering their pleasure? Why did it matter? It shouldn't. There was no reason she should care the slightest. She pushed the thoughts and bitterness away. Fine, Ron said, lip curling. I'll tell them that in person. They won't believe me otherwise. Our glare he aimed at her reminded his glare at her, or the glare he aimed at her, reminded her the promises of pleasure were far from his mind now. Good, she had no need of them. Sure, she kept. Fine, she replied. They glared at each other. I want you to agree to protect Eva and my brothers in the future. After the contract is complete and you get your book, she recoiled. I would not. I've already sworn not to reveal your whereabouts, which is enough to have me cast out of heaven if I were discovered. You already had been demoted, girl. You try to get it back. She lying and shit. The risk is too high. A part of her felt guilty about what she was doing. Because she lied. She an angel. We. Associations with demons were expressly forbidden, and the mere thought of it ought to have horrified her. But here she was, having captured one and forced him into her service. But once she learned that the grimoire had been taken to hell, her blood had gone cold at the thought of navigating the underworld by herself. The dominations had to know that she had to have to face her biggest fear and return to the place of her nightmares. Was that why they considered this worthy of her final test before reascension? All you've given me is a promise not to kill me and my family, Rom said. I get nothing else out of this. He tried to get some coochie out of it. He's terrible. Continuation of life is the ultimate goal of all beings. I think you underestimate how little I give a fuck. She gritted her teeth. No one was dying if she had anything to say about it, so there was no point discussing this. I am soon to be re-elevated to the rank of the principality. I cannot extend protection. Did he kiss the lie yet? I cannot extend protection duties to rogue demons and half angel abominations. It could jeopardize my my position. You'll only be obligated to help if it doesn't endanger you. And we won't act unless we have no other viable options. Fine, she grudgingly agreed. What are you doing, Sunshine? But it was too late to back out now. But I will add a termination point of 25 years to this clause because I cannot pledge myself to unlawful protection duty for the rest of eternity. 200 years. Preposterous. 75, 150, 100, fine, 100 years. He tilted his head from side to side in a stretch and her gaze fixed on the tendons in his neck. She hadn't thought Nick's would be attractive, but his undoubtedly was. How odd. But the time limit applies only to this, he added. The rest of the contract is indefinitely binding. You can't betray us, try to kill us, or ask someone else to kill us for the rest of time. By the spheres, I am a fool. She should not be agreeing to this. No one knew what the future held. But what option did she have? After 3 weeks of observation, her conscience would not let her act in the way she should. If the demon realized this and called her bluff, she would lose everything. Her only chance was to secure his assistance now before he realized her for the fraud she was. Very well, she said, swallowing hard, but let me also clarify that this contract works in reverse. From now, for the rest of the time, you shall not attempt to kill or imprison me, nor enlist another to do so. You should not speak of our association to anyone, including your brothers, and you should not make any attempt to impart information through hints or uncharacteristic actions. Girl, you got a tall bill, honey. Tall order. Fine, but let's add it out. If we both agree to the end contract for whatever reason, we can't sound like friends with benefits nowadays. Agreed. Honestly, that made her feel better too, but again, consent must be given free of duress and manipulation. If there is any misunderstanding for either party, it should not count as such. His eyes glinted with some kind of satisfaction. Agreed. Her heart jumped at that look. She didn't trust it one bit, but she couldn't think of a single way to find a loophole from that clause. Once again, he had far more to lose than her, or so he believed. And that continued belief was essential. Every second she wasted in negotiation was another second he could realize her farce and turn the tables. In the end, she had no choice but to relent. Then let us bind the contract and be done. A bound contract was unbreakable. Both parties were physically incapable of breaking their vows. She had no desire to trap herself so irreparably, but it was the only way to guarantee that they couldn't turn on each other. Rom climbed to his feet, legs steady beneath him, gaze sharp. The effects of her blood had worn off completely after the first hour. She'd never seen such a thing before and wasn't sure what to make of it. He lifted his right hand and she watched sharp talons grow from his fingertips, and much like those on a bird, her eyes widened at the sight, and she fought to disguise her interest. Only the highest ranks of angels could take multiple forms, and even if Rom was shifting into a beast of the underworld, there was a certain beauty in his strangeness. Each of his fingers ended in a curved black claw, and his knuckles were gnarled and rough. His leathery skin, scaled like that of a reptile, was shiny obsidian that stretched up to his elbow, where it transitioned back to the dark bronze of his human skin. Holding out his other steel human palm, he slashed his foreclaw across it, and blood welled and dripped to the floor. Lifting his gaze, he met her eyes and said, "On my own blood, I vow it." Nodding once, Sunshine finally rose from her chair and stretched her stiff limbs. She flashed into the bedroom closet, where she stashed her weapons and retrieved the dagger in a leather thigh holster. Returning to the main room, she unsheathed the blade, cut her own palm similarly, and repeated the vow. "On my own blood, I vow it." Inferent, shieldlic, or temporal, a blood vow was a blood vow. The magic worked equally for any being foolish enough to make use of it. Their promise hung heavily in the air until the binding sank into their skin and crystallized. It was done, and there was no turning back. She could only hope she hadn't hoped. Really? She hadn't just made the biggest mistake of her immortal life. The danger and hope. Safely ensconced in his underworld lair, the necromancer jolted upright in bed, his skin slick with cold sweat, his chest heaving. The dream had returned to haunt him again. His chamber was quiet and dark, the thick drapes drawn over the windows to block out the blood-red sky. He shifted and realized the bedsheet was tangled with legs and tail. Ripping the fabric off, he hurled it away, the slightest feeling of being restrained making his skin crawl. The vision came now whenever he slept, so he avoided sleep as much as possible. He'd always avoided it. In fact, since it was one of the only times he was vulnerable, a secret he guarded with utmost vigilance. But even a demon of his great power could not exist forever. Without sleep, and eventually the exhaustion would catch up with him. Tonight was one such night. He'd finally succumbed to weakness and paid the price. Around him, the Blackstone Castle was quiet. Murmur did not permit his subjects in his tower, and he rarely summoned his souls into his bedchamber. It was the one place he allowed himself to be free of the constant burden of their company. Always their voices cried in his head, crying for freedom, begging to be released. Always he ignored them. They had been foolish enough to enter a bargain with the necromancer, selling themselves to avoid the torment of the 9 rings. Eternal service was the price he demanded, and it was the price they paid. Murmur had mercy for those too weak to face the consequences of their actions, and their pleas fell on deaf ears. They would remain in his service until such time as he saw fit to release them, which would likely be never. Then again, he mused, thinking of the dream. Maybe they'll be free before long. He plagued him more than ever before, rising to the forefront of his mind when he closed his eyes for but a moment, convincing him that the time for its realizations was fast approaching. I am not ready. There was still so much to do, so much to plan, so much to arrange. But he was closer than he ever been. He had Gamagin's book in his possession, and he was making progress with his spells. Unfortunately, he'd also discovered he needed a specific ingredient he didn't yet have in his possession. Yet another task to add to the seemingly endless list. The task spiraled around his mind like 1,000 mini cyclones until he forgot how it felt to have a clear, focused thought, and the dream only made it worse. It was always the same. He was burning, his entire body aflame with what he assumed was hellfire. Though he didn't know for certain, everything was white hot, and the agony was so unbearable he screamed. Then he finally mercifully separated from his body, but his death was not the nothingness that should await a demon, a creature with no soul, as his essence dissolved back into the energy upholding creation. No, his consciousness remained, and he felt himself being tugged with impossible force into an impenetrable void. He cried out in terror, his voice echoing everywhere and nowhere. It mingled with the screams of the others trapped with him, the hundreds of others, and then he woke in a cold sweat, fear pounding through his blood. It was not his death that scared him. The bliss of complete non-existence was like a siren song to an immortal creature such as he. What scared him was that his death was not the end of his consciousness, and what awaited him on the other side was something that should not exist. Demons had no souls. Only beings with souls were granted an afterlife before eventual reincarnation. So what was this void he was to be trapped in? How did it exist? Gamagin's book contained the answers, and they had not been favorable. Shaking his head to clear it, Murmur rose from the bed, abandoning further attempts to rest. He had no desire to return to that fathomless void of torment. As he roused, so he did his souls, and he felt better knowing they were back on sentry duty. He crossed his chambers, parting his hair around his horns, and winding it back into a long braid. Tying it off, he tossed it over his shoulder and threw a robe over his bare upper body, the long slit in the back allowing his tail freedom. His fingers had just closed around his bedchamber door handle when another vision overtook him. His eyes turned white, as they always did when he had succumbed to the curse of his seer existence. Indiscernible images flashed within his inner eye in rapid succession. He saw a brown-skinned woman of radiant beauty smiling at someone he couldn't see. He saw a crow fly over the face of the sun, blotting it out until it became night. He saw golden eyes beneath a furrowed brow. He saw a book. He saw a sigil, dozens of sigils covering the halls of his lair, every square inch coated in chalk lines. He saw rivers of blood and severed body parts from all manner of creatures. He saw another woman with sharp eyes and jet black hair, and he saw himself burning. What felt like hours later was likely only several minutes. Murmur's eyes cleared and he blinked as the door in front of him returned to focus. His face morphed into a scowl, a new vision to decipher, delightful as if I don't already have enough to do. The images had come too fast for him to immediately recall, but with careful consideration or concentration, he would be able to revisit them until he pieced their meaning together. But the vision had left him with one immediate conviction. Someone was coming to steal something of his. He flexed his claws and flicked his tail. No one stole from him. No one dared to cross the necromancer who had visions of the future and an army of souls at his bidding. No one was foolish enough, so he thought. And yet he was certain that someone intended to do just that. Exactly. Very well then. He would ensure it was the last thing they ever did. He done with Sunshine and Brown. It's a whole situation. Not even adding Rom's brothers and the girlfriends. Okay, the next one will be 7. I'll do that one. I don't know when, y'all. It's Fight or Flight. And then after that one, it will be 8. And that's Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Trying to see how many chapters we got to go. What's the last chapter? Chapter 35. And we just had 7 on me. You know, it don't matter how slow we go as long as we finish, right? Because stuff be going on and on and on. And like, you having to finish what you start, you know? It may take long. Goddamn it. At least you kept your word to people and to yourself. It'll egg me till I do. Which is, oof, when I tell you, it ain't no joke. Not to keep your word. Oh, it ain't. You gotta really be on top of things. Or you just like everybody else. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna pop a few cards to see what's going on. Let's do some karma cards to see if it's certain planets or signs or something dealing with something extra otherworldly. Excuse me. I'm gonna say extraterrestrial shit. Shit going on. Oh my God! Y'all see how that book ain't far-fetched? No, it ain't. You start getting layers and layers, more and more stuff. What that is? The 4th house, Cancer and Leo energy, Aries energy. Leo again, 5th house. Look into y'all 5th house. Look into y'all 4th house. Taurus. I kind of knew Taurus was gonna pop. South Node, look into y'all South Node, look into y'all moon. It's relevant to what I just said, y'all South Node. There will not be anxiety about trouble. Y'all may thought y'all was going to end up with somebody and they ain't even going how it's going to go. Or they thought they got too comfortable, or they put the cart before the horse, or they knew they was just going to win, whatever. There's somebody who's in their ego and they is not going to win nothing. They're not getting you. Some people be conjuring, y'all, and when you conjure, it's like a person that don't know how to leave well enough alone. If you got if you had an original mate or divine mate, even if you had what they call a high level soul mate that you built it up with, like Ashford and Simpson, bitch, and now it's solid. Let me tell you something. You're going to do a love spell on that shit, and it's going to keep backfiring and backfiring and backfiring. And it backfires sometimes. Just imagine you a woman that does a love spell on your divine mate. Just imagine them getting blew back to an old lover. That's a backfire. Imagine a man who woman is already in love with him. Do a love spell. That motherfucker gonna blow her back to an old lover. And guess what? That old lover gonna fuck around and win. And he ain't, because he did some artificial shit that he didn't have to do because she accepted him how he was. She loved him for real. Somewhere somebody bought a lie that they had to do this in order to get that. It could be a person that don't know how to express themselves, stuck in their ego, all kind of shit, underdeveloped a little bit. However, love is love, right? It be awesome. You did it to yourself. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all dealing with somebody that was in their ego and did a love spell with some shit, and it blew y'all back into the arms of somebody else that y'all may have been with in another lifetime, and it worked out. And they might have been looking at that like they a lose, so they need to do this in order to get you back. No, you would have went with that person. They did it to themselves. I'm trying to tell you. The wet dream killers, it seems to me, Virgo, Scorpio energy, Libra. So we got Libra energy, Scorpio energy, things going on with Pluto. Y'all may want to look into that. Y'all may want to look into the 7th house and the 6th house. And then we had Aries, Taurus, Leo, and Cancerian energy. Sagittarius possibly. That's what I'm picking up. Those signs. I ain't about to say them again. Y'all got that right. Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Virgo. Possibly Sagittarius, Libra. I said Taurus, right? Aries, Leo, Cancer, Virgo. Possibly a Sag. Scorpio. Look into Pluto, too. What it's doing. What's collectively, what sign is it in? I don't know. I usually have it written down, but I didn't because I'm kind of over certain shit. I be having to get a bit of a breather. When it just seems like it's insurmountable. Like shit. Like, I mean, like I don't got a whole bunch of shit that I got to do with visions that I seen goddamn 2 weeks ago kind of shit. Hold up. Let's see, what the hell. I might let this shit popcorn. Just let it keep popping until it can't pop no more and pick them all up if they fall on the floor or flip over like that. Dealing with Aquarius. Some of y'all dealing with Aquarius energy, or some of y'all healing. Some of y'all star quality people dealing with this whole stupid ass shit. Definitely Cancer and Scorpio involved because this came up. Water sign energy, sign, and flu. We got big old Nipsey. That's the Leo energy. Is yes to whatever the fuck y'all got going on. Then we got indecision or decision is made. Yeah, y'all choosing somebody that's choosing y'all. Somebody did a love spell that backfired and it blew y'all into the arms of another motherfucking man or a woman. And that's who y'all gonna do life with. The person can't get y'all back. It's kind of like signed, sealed, and delivered. Just like Rom said, it's too late to turn back. But yet they still talking about hope. You know, people just be talking for real. Like, you sealed it. What the fuck you mean hope? It's over with. Kind of shit. Manifest. Tell the universe exactly what you want. Y'all told the universe exactly what y'all wanted, and y'all ended up getting what y'all wanted. Some of y'all are single right now, but you ain't gonna remain single. No. Some of these Libras are a part of this. I didn't name Aquarius. However, possibly, I just know this is about healing and restoring your soul from dealing with a whole bunch of infected shamblers, shadow beings. This is how they look on the inside. You may have slept with some. I'm trying to tell you, that's why you gotta do work to cut the cords on that shit. Because, honey, baby, when I tell you, you're looking crazy as fuck. Or acting crazy as fuck because your insides are twisted up and shit. And you thought you just had a nice little sexual experience. Kind of shit, like, yeah, with infected shamblers. Possibly, come up with an STD. Some people got AIDS now. Or HIV. I'm trying to tell you, worry, have, stick, doing shit, but that's a backfire. Shit just go all the way haywire because you're doing something that don't need to be done. I had a dispute or a debate with my cousin. He is an 80s baby. No, excuse me. He is a 90s baby. I'm like, boy, if you don't shut the hell up, he talking about unnatural. It's easier than natural. I'm like, no, it's not. It's really a matter of opinion. And it could possibly be a matter of the differences in generations. Because I'm Generation X. He said he don't even know what his is, but it's really millennials. I'm like, listen here. Y'all are my generation's kids, okay? Natural is better. Y'all got all this AI shit raised on microwave. Y'all ain't know shit about putting shit in a broiler or a fucking oven to reheat it because it wasn't no motherfucking microwave. You know what I'm saying? Natural is always going to be easier because there's no effort to it. Unnatural, you got to fake an orgasm. You got to fake a smile. You got to fucking plan shit. You got to manipulate shit. You got to do all this shit in order for something to work. Keep peddling. You got to keep burning candles. You got to keep paying a witch doctor. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that he don't fall out of love with you. All this old extra booty ass shit. Natural, I don't got to do none of that shit but go to the grocery store, cook my man food. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time. Get better and better. Ain't nothing involved. You know what I'm saying? You get enhancers. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to have that going on. However, to keep him focused on me, captivated by me, and all this old other shit's all funny business. That shit takes effort. When you naturally love someone, that shit is effortless. That's what everybody wants. He hell bent on telling me that unnatural is easier. What? He was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, Aries. Oh, my God. I said, you know what? You right. You right. I know he said, let me think about this. For real, because, boy, you sound crazy as hell. Y'all was dealing with some aliens. Look at this shit. There's some women. Look like this on the inside that y'all was sleeping with, letting them give y'all a little fellatio. Taste. Sex machine. I'm trying to tell you, Five of Pentacles. Some of y'all tarot readers knew it was coming. People was gonna set y'all up to lose your house and whatever in your car, sleeping or at a hotel or some shit like that. Saw it coming. Said, I'm just too comfortable right now. Some of y'all getting a kick out of it, which is good. Like if you was part of the first little rendition, honey, like what the fuck is this? Now at least a motherfucker went before you like a trailblazer telling you like they go start fucking with y'all because they fucking with tarot readers. Now some tarot readers that had a house or a place to live stable as shit got hurled out that motherfucker doing chaos magic on you like crazy and landed you in a hotel. I pray y'all still got y'all children because they'll try that too. I'm telling y'all, this is what y'all need. Restoration. Both parties. Male and female. Yeah. If y'all ain't in it, y'all gonna be in it. Yeah. Separation. Y'all gotta separate from somebody in order to get your inheritance, which is the whole kit and caboodle. You know what I'm saying? Othala. The room Othala. Somebody put y'all in separation from somebody. When I say a big ass mess, just know that. Some people put themselves in separation fucking with that shit. I'm trying to tell you. And then it becomes an ever beating heart situation where the person gonna always love you kind of shit. If you ever want to cheat on your man kind of situation, you're like, what? Oh, you got your motherfucking man. I'm trying to tell you. Some of y'all gonna end up back with y'all twin flame. Some people put y'all in separation. I'm trying to tell you, third party situation, twin flames, where you had two. You was a woman that was extracted out of one and was gonna be given to another one. The other one may have did a love spell where they didn't need to, and they put you back to the one that you was extracted out of. That could have just been a highly spiritual being and didn't really want a woman per se. So God used that thing like that, and then they now ready to be quote unquote human or regular, like what's happening in the sunshine around. Honey, baby. When I tell you what the fuck. Man, a lot going on, name it. I'm trying to tell you. Ended up with too many women. Somebody. This is death knell. I'm trying to tell you. Somebody was begging on their knees, begging please. But they had been with too many of these weird bitches. They ain't cast down them folks' imagination. They had subconscious work to clear out. Too third dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Lost in fantasy and shit. Illusions. Threesomes. Swinging. Sex parties, all kind of shit. I'm trying to tell you, big and please be mine, please. They did too much. Whoever that motherfucker is, y'all gonna end up with either a high level soulmate or your original twin y'all was extracted out of. Oh yeah, that. Just what I said. Somebody fumbled that ball, baby. When I say fumbled that ball, baby. Somebody would have been going to the free throw line in basketball. I'm trying to tell you. Travel, I need some more shit. Let the other ball get the ball, fumble that bitch. Football, basketball, bitch. Yeah, it's a whole lights out situation for somebody, honey. I'm trying to tell you, divine masculine is not picking this one. A whole lights out situation, because that one did a love spell that sent them into fucked upville. Yeah, could have even made somebody lose their kids. You know, child hungry, motherfucker sick. It backfired in the worst way. I'm trying to tell you. A Leo involved in this situation or something like that happening with some of y'all. Yes, sir. Some of y'all gonna have to nurse y'all person back to hell. Yeah, it's gonna take patience, y'all. Some of y'all don't know none of this shit was going on. Some of y'all Cancerian energies. Some of y'all may have Pisces in the 4th house. You a love bug. You do Jesus Christ. Happy and safe. Yeah, man. Y'all end up with this. Happy and safe with somebody operating out of y'all free will. This is just people that know how to act without, having to be babysat and shit. Sovereign. Don't need no surveillance. You know what I'm saying? Go to fucking on. I got this kind of shit. Somebody got their, honey, let me tell you something, got their swagger back. I think I got my swagger back. Hell no, that's some silly shit. Oh, I'm trying to tell you. Oh, yeah, they got their swagger back. They don't go fuck if the world upside down, honey. All they need is you. Kind of shit. Some of y'all dealing with it, Sag. Y'all should look into y'all Jupiter or something may pop off up in that motherfucker on a good note. The world in reverse, honey. They don't give a damn if the world is gone reverse. Whatever, y'all will make a world of y'all own, honey. Oasis in the desert, because they about sick of this shit. I'm trying to tell you, somebody had to get you back, honey. They thought they had you. They had the cart before the horse, honey. They had count all they motherfucking eggs before they hatch. Now they back single. They salty as fuck. Look at their face. And they got to give them back. They got to give you back. You the purse. Go ahead. That's mine right there. What you doing? Shit. Damn. Motherfucker. Why are you sleeping with my woman? Comes as a surprise. I just can't believe my eyes. My best friend and my wife. Shit. Damn, motherfucker. Some of y'all are occultists. Is that right? Get it in, then. Get it in, then. American occultists, get it in. Why are you? The flame, the convalescence, the opening, the mystery of regeneration through death. It is the room of the artist, the craftsman, and the magician. This is just further reiterating, dude, that it doesn't matter if you put the flame out. It's convalescence. It was done already what needed to be. You understand what I'm saying? You got artists, you got craftsmen, and you got magicians on your fucking ass, bro. Give it up, Bobby. You suck. Exactly. And you ain't even black, but you acting like a nigga with the shit you been doing, bro. I got this nigga Kelly. Don't worry about it. Right. Let him cook like a motherfucker. You hear me? Because what is he even doing all this hard work we've been putting in? On the Cowboy Carter side. What the fuck is wrong with these motherfuckers? Stupid ass motherfuckers. Whoa, what I tell you? What I tell you? All right, let's see what else we got. And then we're going to get up out of here. Whew. Yeah. Trouble arrives, jumping from the frying pan into the fire. Lack of progress. Exactly. Where are you going? You're a car, bro. You're not going anywhere. Now you got self-realization going on. Because you motherfuckers love to catch amnesia with the shit that y'all be doing until you get to the end of the goddamn story and realize you've been doing this lifetime after lifetime fucking shit up. Damn, I was the one killing him the whole time, huh? Damn, this little boy is me. Fuck. Kind of shit. So I gotta come along and remind you. And then you had the audacity to try to get them whacked or off because your motherfucking ass can't remember that you did what you did and get over or, get away with it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Clearly, it's possibly a tarot reader catches this nigga every lifetime. He just keep doing it. And then get so caught up in the desire of it and having his way because he don't do his work. It's like a motherfucker escaping hell. Desire. I'm trying to tell you. And don't do their work. Don't purify. Don't do their work, y'all. Want your energy. Like I said, pull up to a pump, fill that motherfucker up, and have a gas can, put some more in that bitch. Drive off as soon as the needle move a little bit, get out and put what's in there. Oh, want it real comfy, cozy. Don't never want to be on E. Nowhere near it. Want to stay on full, but ain't doing their own work. Just ciphering from you. Fucking vampires. What you mean have yourself? And do it double time now. What the fuck? Yeah, I bet. Well, they ain't bit more royal or nothing else. Get them out of here. Real, baby. Hell, we been doing this too long. And I'll be damn if I see another bitch on the arm. Trusting in the divine. Like you know you should. Some of y'all Scorpios and Cancers. Sit Don't be capped like Sunshine, though. Talk about sitting in the chair, twisting and turning and all that shit, trying to act like you ain't gonna be with the person that you know damn well the chemistry is acting. This other motherfucker done fucked up doing goddamn love spells and getting shit backfired and fucked up all over the motherfucking place. When I tell you. Yeah, focus on your coin and yourself and not them. Or focus on your coin and the new them instead of the one that ain't making no sense no more because they did some shit to fuck up some shit. And they keep coming up in your world. Rapping on your door, knocking on your window pane, went through so much shit, bitches attacking you, all kind of shit, losing teeth, sleep, better not lose that ass, don't wash your ass. Fuck around trying to take your mind. These motherfuckers, like Uncle Colin say. For real, some shit he say. God damn. Oh, fuck. Oh, baby. Ain't nobody doing that. No. I'm trying to tell you, Briar Patching, some of y'all got Emperor energies. And then other people, they wasn't there, but you wasn't turned off to the idea of helping them to get there. Let's just say that. Here they go with the love spell and the witchcraft, the hoodoo and the bullshit. When somebody wants you, naturally, you don't have to do that shit. You want to fuck some shit up. For real. Here they go. Here I go, grabbing this shit. Here they go. This is somebody that's immature. You see what I'm saying? He ready. This somebody that's saying, this is somebody that had y'all last lifetime. He see this person doing that and say, this idiot kind of shit. You already know what it is. I'm trying to tell you. Briar patching, motherfucker losing teeth, sleep, like I said. Motherfucker, some of y'all done lost y'all mind. You hear me? Briar patching y'all. What the fuck? It's hot as hell. It's getting hot as hell. It's getting hot again. Ain't coming about them clothes. Got teamwork on it, getting their cousins involved and they damn wrong. They don't even know this motherfucker doing too much. So you trying to get her, huh? Okay, so what we gonna do? It don't matter that he a blood and they Crips. These niggas working together. and honey, ain't don't need to do nothing. You just liked him. You loved him, whatever. All he had to do was keep taking you out to eat and buying you some clothes, bringing you some chicken over to the house. You know, I mean, oh, honey, when I tell you, ain't nothing worse than a motherfucking wet dream killer or a motherfucking turning a molehill into a fucking mountain. Getting people extra involved. Oh, Lord have mercy. Drink the bitter cups. I heard. Drink the bitter cup. Go on, drink it. Because you did it. You done did it. Keep getting more and more on that phone, honey. Keep getting more and more people involved. Ooh, somebody in trouble with the authority. You done lost their fucking mind. This shit done backfired. Some of y'all stories done backfired crazy. When I say crazy, fucking chaotic war zone mess. People getting hurled every motherfucker where they don't even know what's going on. You know what? And some of it is whoever is sad, some of this shit going on with y'all. I'm trying to tell you a whole bunch of this shit. I'm trying to tell you, back, forth, fighting, spiritual realm and physical. Some people egos, they need to go through ego deaths. This was some of this shit is seeming like it's a non-ending because motherfuckers just don't want to give up them damn egos and their false pride. They make them dumb. Where they get stupid prizes all the time. They're making dumb decisions and ain't even like that. They did it to themselves. I'm trying to tell you. Children involved. Kill it. I'm trying to tell you, that's so crazy. People ain't gonna be able, how it's gonna ending up, people just ain't gonna be able to do it. You shouldn't judge nobody no way. However, if you ain't gonna be, and motherfuckers ain't gonna be studying what another nigga did, because they gonna be trying to get out of what the fuck going on with their own self. I'm trying to tell you, trying to figure out where they teeth went. Motherfucking toenail don't fell off. What the fuck these motherfuckers doing? I only slept with the bitch once, kind of shit. Like, you know, you better figure it out. You damn sure ain't worried about who molested who over in this family, especially if that ain't your family. Now you learning some shit about your family. What? Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what happened when I slept with this bitch. Now you you finding out your uncle molested your sister on top of kind of shit. Do you got time to worry about anybody else? Hell no. I'm trying to tell you. You sure figure out what's important and what's not. And damn sure don't be your ass in the grand scheme of life with all these motherfuckers on the planet to coexist with. Do you hear me? Ooh, honey, baby, bye. All right, y'all. Sweep in front of y'all own front door. Sweep in front of that back door. Y'all got side doors. Y'all got a driveway. Y'all got a car to clean out. Do y'all got... So y'all got a mind to empty out the hard junk driving that motherfucker? Well, get on top of it and stay on top of it. You hear me? Justice never sleeps. Do Uncle Bernie look like he sleep? Do you see he know that sentiment is being used in a spell against his motherfucking ass? Do it like he gonna lose sleep? He doing that Tennessee, bitch. He doing that Tennessee. I can't control the world or what a motherfucker doing. What I do know is justice never sleeps. So whatever you did to me, motherfucker, it's gonna come back and get your motherfucking ass one way or another. Cause I ain't never about to use or lose, bitch, my broody rest. Worried about what you are doing. Trying to get a nigga fucked up. You know what I'm saying? If I die tonight, bitch, oh well, I bet you one thing. I'm gonna enjoy my riches and I'm gonna cross over in that same type of mind frame, honey. The mansion, sleeping on motherfucking clouds, bitch. Always taking flights, honey. Not giving a fuck, honey. You hear me? You cannot control the world or what people do, what people think, what they plot against you. All you can do is protect yourself. Let vengeance be God's ultimately. So you can get into no tit for tat shit, because some people just overkill, do some shit. You saying, Allah, God, listen, angels, honey, listen, principalities, demons, cause honey, I'm good. You motherfuckers should work for me if you want to try to get back in good status with Allah. Help me out around here. These motherfuckers done lost their mind. And I ain't even doing nothing. This is envy and enmity and chaos magic and all kind of shit. And I gotta be the motherfucking recipient of people's rage, if you will. Ooh, honey, baby, bye. All right, y'all. Love and light.